that her edges is, if I would have left this out, it would have been all weave here and then her hair here. So I brought it up some. I brought the hair up to this point so that some of her bang is in the hair. So that way she'll have a fuller bang and she'll also have the versatility of pulling her hair back, like on the side. You see?
Oh, yeah.
Even though she left hair out. Right.
Nice.
So it's better if, you know, it just depends on your hair. You can still have the versatility. She still can wear it back off her face. She still can wear a middle part. She still can wear it parted on the side and still wear her bangs. Even though she has hair coming all the way up to the front, just to give her some fullness in her bang.
So did you color her hair and the Indian hair as well?
Yeah, I colored her hair and the Indian hair.
Oh,
but you don't always have to get, like I said, your hair colored. If you get color in your Indian hair, you can get less highlights than she has. And if your hair is darker, it'll blend a whole lot better, even though you don't have your hair colored in the top.
Nice.
And I always use, you know, I may use scissors when it comes to the natural hair, but I'll use a razor whenever I cut the Indian hair, because it makes the Indian hair look a whole lot more natural when you use a razor instead of using scissors.
So it's not such of a blunt type of cut.
Because you want, whenever you get your hair done, if you get extensions or you get a weave, you always want it to look natural. You don't want everyone to be able to tell that you have a weave.
Right.
So when you cut it with the razor, it gives that more natural look.
Her color looks really nice.
And she also didn't get all of her hair colored. That is an option. Even though you get color in your hair, you can get a few highlights in the top. And in the back, she doesn't have her hair colored.
Oh, okay. So it looks real natural.
And she only has highlights in the top.
Oh,
but it blends really well.
Yeah, it looks pretty.
When you cut it, especially when you cut it with a razor.
Looks pretty. Yeah. It blends really well. The color looks great too.
Yeah.
Hey, you see new earrings now?
Yeah, big earrings.
You have those
So Tasha's about to press my hair out and show you guys how you can wear the hair straight and wavy and curly.
Well, usually I take like a light oil. I usually do use Design Essential products because they're really nice for the Indian hair. And so I'm just going to use a light oil and put it on her natural hair and just spread it over the hair. And then I always try to blow dry the hair out when it's curly because that way it's easier to press out. You know, when they flat iron, part it in smaller sections.
Okay.
And then go slowly with the flat iron to the end of the hair. The slower you go, the straighter it'll get. The faster you go, the more time it'll take.
That's good because squeezing right after picking maximizes palate pleasure. Of course, how well just squeezes these grapes is important too. They use the pulp, the skin, the seeds, everything.
Oh, and I use the light styling spritz. It'll help to straighten out the hair. If you ever use anything too heavy, like, you know, pump it up or anything like that, it'll make the hair hard. You want to always use a light styling spritz so it'll help to straighten the hair out, but it still leaves the hair with bounce and body. The hair is still able to move. Okay, I flat iron her hair at the top that she's leaving out. I flat iron that first so that when I get to the top of her hair, I'll flat iron her natural hair with the Malaysian hair, and that way her hair will blend in a whole lot better.
So I bought K-White Kissable Sensations for the body. Chocolate for her, strawberry for me. 8 pieces of design.
The tool that you prefer over
Another for the Indian hair.
I don't really prefer a certain brand. I mean, if I do use, I you know, I like the FHIs or the H2 Pros. They're a generic brand of FHIs. But and you can use any flat iron. Usually, you want your flat iron to have a temperature gauge on it so that it'll go up to 420 at least. If not 450, because the hotter your flat iron is, the better it's gonna straighten your hair. So if you get a flat iron with the that goes up to 420, it's best because it'll help straighten out the hair easier.
But that type of heat on your natural hair, is that safe to use?
When you press it, if you're using it on your natural hair, I say use 420 at the most. Don't go higher than 420. 450 it will start to burn your hair out if you're using it every day. But if you're using a flat iron that's going up to 420, usually when you press your hair out, you don't have to flat iron it every day. You can just wrap your hair and it'll still be straight, you know. And it'll also help to train your hair, especially when it's natural, and it'll stay straighter longer.
And so maintaining, you know, straighter hairstyles with, you know, any weave in general, do you recommend wrapping, or what about the sleep? You know, sleeping on it is always the deal breaker.
I always recommend wrapping your hair. You know, it gives your hair more control when you wrap your hair at night. So I always advise my clients, if they're wearing their hair straight, wrap it every night. And it helps to maintain your natural hair so you won't have to flat iron it in the morning. But if you're wearing curls, I tell my clients to put rollers, the foam rollers, the sponge rollers, or you can use the flexi rods and take them and just, you know, roll your hair at night. That way, you know, your curls will last and you don't have to put a lot of heat on your hair or the weave.
How about pin curling? Do you think that helps to maintain the curl?
Yeah, pin curling is good as long as you have a hair bonnet to put on top of your hair to protect it, because you know with pins, you know they aren't always as stable as rollers are.
Right.
So if you're gonna be pin curling your hair, that's good as well. But use a hair bonnet to cover your hair after you've pin curled it.